As the president and CEO of the Association for Uncrewed Vehicle Systems International, AUVSI, Michael Robbins leads the world's largest trade association dedicated to advancing autonomy, uncrewed systems, and robotics across defense, civil, and commercial markets. In this op-ed, Robbins shares his insights on the proposed restrictions on Chinese drone technology facing the industry today. DRONELIFE neither makes nor accepts payment for guest posts. Preparing for PRC drone restrictions. A call to action for the U.S. Drone industry by AUVSI President and CEO Michael Robbins. The United States drone industry stands at a critical juncture. With the likely restriction of drones and certain critical components originating from the People's Republic of China, PRC, the time for decisive action is now. The security vulnerabilities associated with PRC drones are well documented within the national security community, and the threat they pose to U.S. interests cannot be overstated. Federal agencies, including the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, Federal Communications Commission, FCC, Department of Defense, DoD, Department of Commerce, and Department of Treasury, have all raised serious national security concerns with PRC drones and drone components. While much of this information remains classified, there are efforts underway to declassify certain information on the security vulnerabilities and threats associated with PRC drones, so that information can be more available for public consumption. The Trump administration's commitment to scrutinizing companies aligned with the PRC military, those on the DoD's 1,260H list, is clear. Those who dismiss this as mere rhetoric are overlooking the real and immediate risks, or are willfully ignoring what is right in front of them. While some voices in the industry have attempted to spin Section 1709 of the FY 2025 National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, as a temporary victory for PRC drone operators, the reality is quite different. This provision will likely lead to the FCC adding PRC drones to its covered entity list, further restricting their use in the U.S. market. The capabilities of U.S. and allied nation drones have advanced remarkably in recent years. Many American and allied-made systems now match or surpass their PRC counterparts in terms of performance and innovation. However, higher costs remain a significant hurdle. This is a classic catch-22. U.S. and allied drone manufacturers cannot lower costs without scaling production, yet achieving scale is impossible as long as PRC companies flood the market with subsidized drones. To break this cycle, American drone manufacturers must take proactive steps to diversify their supply chains and reduce reliance on PRC components. Waiting to be reactive could very well prove to be costly. The recent sanctions on Skydio by the PRC, which disrupted their battery supply line, and the U.S. Treasury sanctions on T-Motor, once a critical motor supplier for many U.S. drone manufacturers, serve as stark warnings. The Defense Innovation Board called this a canary in the coal mine moment. These disruptions highlight the precariousness of maintaining supply chains with adversarial nations. Not only are the drones and certain critical components a national security risk due to the inherent nature of connected devices controlled by an adversarial nation, but the supply chain of all components could be weaponized and cut off at a moment's notice. It is not only manufacturers who need to prepare for these impending restrictions. Public safety agencies, drone service providers, and other operators with investments in PRC drones must take the national security threat and the likely restriction of PRC drones and certain critical components seriously and begin planning now. The industry cannot afford to be caught off guard, and there is no excuse to be caught off guard. The red light is blinking. Don't ignore it. While the challenges ahead may seem daunting, there are clear steps that can be taken to mitigate risks and adapt to a new market reality. The Association for Uncrewed Vehicle Systems International, AUVSI, has long advocated for strengthening the U.S. and allied nation drone industry. Our Partnership for Drone Competitiveness effort outlines actionable strategies to enhance domestic and allied manufacturing capabilities and build resilient supply chains. We have repeatedly underscored the urgent need for a robust and secure drone ecosystem, free from foreign influence and manipulation. To those in the public safety sector and commercial drone operations who may be impacted by these changes, We understand the difficulties you face. The transition away from PRC systems will not be without its challenges, but the long-term benefits to national security, supply chain stability, and operational integrity are well worth the effort. Now is the time to make thoughtful decisions. Invest in American and Allied-made technologies, and align with trusted nations to ensure a strong and secure future for our industry. The U.S. drone industry has an opportunity to redefine itself, to become a beacon of innovation and security on the global stage. But this will only happen if we collectively recognize the risks, adapt, and take concrete, proactive actions today to ensure our future success. The choice is yours to make. Choose wisely. Michael Robbins is President and CEO at AUVSI, the world's largest organization representing autonomous systems, drones, and robotics in the commercial and defense sectors. With a background in government, military, and industry sectors, Robbins brings extensive experience in advocacy, communications, and strategic leadership. He currently serves as an officer in the U.S. Navy Reserve and holds key roles on influential advisory boards. Michael serves on the MITRE Corporation's Aviation Advisory Committee and the National Advanced Mobility Consortium's NAMC Advisory Committee. He recently served as co-chair of the Federal Aviation Administration's UAS Detection and Mitigation Aviation Rulemaking Committee. He previously served on the U.S. Department of Transportation's Aviation Supply Chain Risk Task Force, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency's Critical Infrastructure Partnership Advisory Council SUA Security Working Group, and on the boards of NAMC and the Greater Washington Aviation Open.